In this video, we will be solving complex equations. Remember, we've talked previously about how to combine complex numbers, which is just a combination of imaginary and real numbers. Today, we're going to talk about how to solve an equation that looks like this. So, if you remember, the reason that we get imaginary numbers is because you're trying to take the square root of a negative number. But for example, if this was x squared minus 9 equals 0, that would just be a graph of x squared minus 9, and it would look like this. Remember, the solutions to this are just where it crosses the x-axis. So see how there's two solutions? There's x equals positive 3 and x equals negative 3. That's because if you were to solve this, you would have added 9 to both sides. X would equal positive 9, and then you would take the square root of positive 9, which is positive and negative 3, which, going back to the graph, makes sense. Positive 3, negative 3. Okay? What's going to happen today is we're going to solve these, but all of the numbers that we need to take the square root of are going to be negative. So for example, this one you're going to subtract 9 from both sides. X squared would equal negative 9. And now you're taking the square root of negative 9, which we learned is positive and negative 3i. You could condense this and leave it as positive and negative 3i. Sometimes you might see it as 3i or negative 3i. So it really just depends on what the question is asking for. Number 2, same thing, only you're going to move the 4 over to a negative 11 instead of a 0. X squared would equal negative 7. You would take the square root of negative 7. Remember, you can always factor out an I if it's a prime number, so it's just going to be I, positive and negative I, root 7. Go ahead and try number 3.
Look for our free top-rated.
Okay, for this one, you're going to keep going, do the same thing, move the 6 over as if you were just solving a normal equation. This would equal negative 40, and then still divide by 2. So x squared would equal negative 20. Do the same thing, you need to take the exact square root of negative 20. This you can break down into root negative 4 times root 5. The square root of negative 4 is 2i. I don't know what the square root of 5 is. And both of these answers, you have a positive and a negative answer. So x could equal either of these two. Okay? The second part on the bottom,